She's a lot bit woo-woo, and she's doing the do. Welcome to the Woo and the Do podcast, where Irina and Christine Michelle teach you how to combine the spiritual and the physical. Because you get to use all of you and the universe to manifest a life you enjoy. Come join us. Let's have some fun.
Hi, I'm Christine Michelle.
And Irina Pichura.
Hi, and we are from the Woo and the Do podcast, and we are so excited about the topic today. We are talking about how to find your passion, and we are going to give you 4 easy ways that you can do that. And we just can't wait to dive into this topic. But first, remember to subscribe to this podcast. It's an amazing podcast. We come to you weekly, and we're just so excited to be able to show you how to combine the woo and the do. So all of you to create the life that you love, the business that you love, and get the success that you love. So let's dive into it. I've seen this question everywhere. How do I find my passion? My clients are asking it. They're asking it on Facebook. They're asking it on Instagram. Everywhere. Have you been seeing it too?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'm part of so many career Facebook groups. I run 2 of them, and a lot of people just don't know like what their passion is. How do they get started? How do they find out? So yeah, that's been a hot topic lately. I've seen a lot of posts about it. So for sure, it's an interesting topic.
And it is, and it's so true, because one reason why finding your passion is so important. Yes, you can make money doing anything, right? We can do corporate jobs. We can do whatever we are doing for other people and not truly loving it. And you can still be successful doing that, right? But the true, real success comes when you don't care if it's Monday or if it's Friday, right? Where you just love what you're doing and you get excited about it. And that happens when you tap into something that you truly love, something that is truly your genius, and you just dive into it and really, really create a business from it. So I totally understand why the passion question is like so big right now, because people really do want to enjoy every day of the week, and they want to not think Mondays suck, and they want to not look forward to Friday because they have 2 days to have their own, time, right? So I get the question. It's so important. And so we have a couple of ways. The first one that we're going to talk about is, one way to find your passion is to really look to, what are you super excited about? Like, what lights you up? For me, what lights me up is talking about energy, talking about woo-woo stuff, and combining it with like some strategy and some do, and just really like, I can talk about that all day. Like, I can watch The Bachelor and talk about vibration and energy in the middle of The Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
I can watch like Love and Hip Hop or something crazy like that and say, oh my God, like, look at what worked, what happened and how it worked together, and how the law of vibration and this, and my sister will laugh, right? Because they know that I'm going to talk about that, but that's just me, right? Because I'm passionate about that topic. I love it. And I just do it when I'm not working. It's things that I would talk about and do for free. And that is how I know I love it.
Probably a good thing for you to be like one of those people that talks about Bachelor, right? Like, don't they do that on E or something? Like, there's like a post show. Yeah, you would totally be like the girl to do that.
And I like to bring like the positivity in it, right? Because it's funny, on some of my blogs when I first started, I'm still uploading them, and I was laughing. I was like, oh, when I first started, I used to love to bring in the energy and talk about like, oh, why didn't, like, for example, I was watching The Bachelor, and it was RA season, and this girl stepped out the thing, and she had this confidence, and I was like, I don't like her. And I was like, well, why don't I like her? So I tapped into that trigger, and I was like, what's going on? And it really was because she was so confident and so knowing that all the men love her, and I didn't have that piece of me in there. So it was a learning, and it was something that I was able to teach my clients and say, look, tap into that. What is going on? Like, this is why you don't like the girl. So, it was just, there's so much. And I was like, I'm going to bring a lot of that back into my blog, because it's fun. It's stuff that we know, it's relatable, but it also takes some of these confusing topics, or topics that can seem so esoteric and so like, way over here, and bring it down to earth on like how to really understand how it relates. So I just love that stuff. Yes.
And I love like the videos that you've been doing on YouTube lately. It just like really like breaks down the manifestation like to earth, like to us people that don't really get the woo woo stuff, right? It's just like for the practical people.
Yeah, right. Because I am a practical person, which we'll talk about. Well, number 2, we'll talk about how to bring the pieces that are you, and then you can use that genius to create stuff. And that, you know what, you went straight into it. Let's go into it. So number 1, we talked about what are you excited and what are you passionate about. Number 2 is really like, what do you do so freaking easily? Like you don't even think about it. You don't even know it's so good. Like, and other people have no clue how to do it, right? Yeah. And so for me, it was 5 things. It was one, I'm very, very creative, right? I can do creative things, not only creative, like artistically, but also creating strategy. And I can do it like in my head like that, but also teaching things and breaking it down into teachable moments in ways that people will be like, oh yeah. And they'll get the aha moments. And it's like bite-sized pieces to help them truly, truly understand. And so, and then 3, it was like being around me, I've been told that just being in my energy, it helps lift their vibration, right? Or they shift the energy just from one thing that I said. They're like, oh my God, I was going down this route and now I'm going this route. And it was just from one thing you said. So I was like, okay, you know,
yes.
And, you know, putting the strategy together, right? Okay. So those are the things. And then what I did was I said, okay, these are the things that I do. And I might not even realize it. You could ask a friend, you can ask your sibling, you could ask your parent, what are you doing that you're just doing? And it's just so natural for you that you don't even realize that there is value in it. And tapping that into something you're super excited about will create the biggest, most successful business for yourself. And it'll just tap into that passion that you have every day.
So what I hear you saying is like, what do people come to you for naturally, right? So I would come to you like, hey, I'm having a bad day, or I'm stuck in some rut, or I'm fighting with my boyfriend, right? I come to you and you just have like the perfect freaking answer. You'll record it really quick for me and it'll just totally change my day. And I remember like your voice, it's funny, right? Like your voice is in my head sometimes. Like it is like whenever I'm like going through something again, I'm just like, I remember Christine saying this, like it totally worked.
See, and that's my passion. Like, and it would be, I would do that for free. I've done it for free for 30 something years.
Yes.
Because I was always the person people would come and ask a question, then I'd give them the answer, teach them some teachable moments, and then they'd be vibe lifted and energy shifted and just ready to go, right? Ready to take over the world or feel better about a shitty situation, right? So for you, what is your passion and what do you do so easily that you've been able to turn into your business?
Yeah. So my business has been helping people find jobs. It's what I did for 10 years. And it's like people get super stuck with finding a job. For me, it's like a no-brainer. For me, I just like my mind knows how to break down like, okay, this is what you do. If this is not working, this is what you have to do. And like, if that's not working, this is what you have to do. And I have so many tools and ways of like helping people get through so many difficult situations that they're in, that I have been in, right? And I've helped people in when I was in corporate. So I have a whole course on it. I've helped people one-on-one on it. And I've been talking about it for so long. And the other thing that I'll mention is that I think, you know, other things that I'm passionate about that have allowed for me to bring this business into like the online space is building websites, writing about things, just like blogging. I love blogging, but creating, you know, content and being creative in the sense of creating like my brand and creating things like that I would put on social media and just like anything having to do with like online techie stuff. Like I love like email lists. I love, you know, Canva. I love creating Pinterest boards, like all that online stuff that like helps my business. I love playing with that.
Yeah. So you were able to bring that passion that you have, one, to help people because you get more excited about their new job than they do, right? So
oh my God, I do. Like when someone tells me, oh my God, like I got that offer, but it's been so long before that. And I'm like, oh my God, it actually like works. It's really, really cool. Yeah. So whenever I can like win something for someone, it totally just like feeds me. Like, so like the first client that said, I got that offer, or even if it's a small thing, like I help somebody tweak their resume, I'm just like, oh, you got a job because of that? That's so freaking cool.
And so it's that that you took that passion to help, and you had also what you did so easily was the creation piece, the tech piece, like all of that stuff, and you were able to put all that together to create this amazing business.
Yeah.
And able to, like, you were able to take things like, say, okay, this is what you can't do, right? You can't find the job, or your marketing materials are upset.
Yep.
They're not great, right? You've done all of these beautiful courses and you've put them all together in a digestible way, all because of that passion that you have to help, to inspire, to empower.
Yeah.
And though we have like a couple of videos that we did, if you guys go to our personal pages, you can find them, or our business pages, but it was about your why. And the why is how you'll find it. Like, what are you excited about? And that why behind it just makes all of the difference with also your success as well. So I'll recap. The first one is, what are you excited about? What expands you? What gets you, like, yeah, what things would you do for free that you're already doing for free, that you really enjoy, that you do all day, right? So then you have, and yours was, you were doing paid for by your corporate business, but also you do it probably when your friends come to you and say, I can't find this job. And you're like, this is what you need to do. What are your videos look like? Let's get on LinkedIn. Let me get you some LinkedIn headers. You're like, this is what you need to do, right? So you're doing it for free already. And then your genius was putting it all together, right? Putting your passion for creativity, and then your passion for beauty, and then all of those things, you were putting all of that stuff together into what you were doing. And then number 3 is, and this is super important, and this is why we talk about the woo and the do, and it's asking for guidance. And so ask guidance. You can do it in multiple ways. You can meditate. You can create the God to-do list. If you're not sure what the God to-do list is, you have to listen, if you haven't, to the first audio, the audio right before this one, which was about tapping into your own genius. And Irina tells a story about how she used the God to-do list, and she came up with exactly what she's doing right now, like the next step of her business evolution. And it's so amazing. But just ask for guidance and trust and know that it's coming to you, right? And that you'll see the answer, you'll feel the answer, you'll hear the answer, you'll sense the answer, you'll get excited or expanded about whatever answer you do get. But if you don't know what your passion is, just before you even go to sleep, say, God, universe, source, whoever you believe in, say, help me to really find my passion. I'm not so sure what I'm passionate about. So I know that I've always loved to teach, love to inspire. I love, conscious creation and woo-woo and crystal, all that stuff, right? I love that. But I didn't know that that was going to be like the specific, my business. Like, I was going to be a coach. I was fighting it for the longest time. I'm not a coach. I'm not this. I'm not that. Right. But I really was, because I was doing it for free. But, I fought against it for a long time. And it wasn't until, like, my sign from guidance was when my boss came to me and told me that they were going to take my people away from me. So I had this big group of people, some in Canada, some in Tampa, and some in San Antonio. And they were going to take the people that I connected with every week, really to help guide, inspire, and empower them in order to help our business grow, in order to help market for these clients, in order to help create these concepts and stuff like that. So they said that they were going to take those people away from me. And that's when I cried. And I was like, whoa, why am I crying? Why am I so upset? And it was because it was something that I was so passionate about, that I was doing so easily. And I didn't even value it and say, oh my God, this is who I am. This is what I love, right? So maybe that's how the sign comes to you. Something that you enjoy actually gets taken away, and you don't realize how much you enjoyed it until it's gone. So who knows, right? What's going to come, but asking for guidance is so important.
Yeah. And I think that, like, when you ask for guidance, you can even do like a brain dump. Like, I've heard this, I haven't personally done it, but like, if you're just starting out with like where to go, what's my idea going to be, just doing a brain dump, right, of all the ideas that you have that are possibilities, and maybe coming back to it another day and doing another one, right? And just like seeing what could be like a passion, what could be a business, what could be a career path, right? Those could be things that you could immediately see one and just like cross it off your list immediately. Like, no, this is no, I'm not doing this. I think that could be another thing that you could do. It's just like a brain dump of ideas. And the other thing that I'll add is that you could be multi-passionate. That's the thing about like today, is that you can have a beauty business and you can have a corporate career, and you can be like so many things. We have like so much accessibility to online, right? So things that were just like not possible 10 years ago, you could be multi-passionate. Like we're working on this podcast. This breaks up my day for me. This is a fun way for me to connect with my friend, to talk about another thing that I'm passionate about, right? So yeah, that's why we started the podcast.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I think most people are multi-passionate, but we've been taught that you can only do one thing: be the lawyer, be the doctor. That's it.
Yes.
You can be the lawyer, and you can be the person that sings like raps or whatever. Like you can be all of the things if you want to, right? It's up to you. And I am 100% multi-passionate, and we do so many things, both Irina and I, and we do some things that are specific for our business. We do some things together, right? That's specific for the woo and the do. And then we do things outside of our world that, you know, in that multi-passion, right? You can be an author, but you also can be a coach. You could be, like you said, work in beauty and have your own beauty line, but then you can also work and have a fashion line as well, right? Yeah. You don't have to stop. But where we like to talk about, and if you go back to that podcast when we talked about productivity, is picking one to focus, get that super successful, and then go on to like some of the other things that you want to do. And you can do that too in journaling, so that you can feel, you don't know how it's all going to come together, but you can write about how it feels to have that multi-passionate life, like being the fashion designer and the #1 selling author and all of that stuff, and saying, I don't know, you know, God, universe, source, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to come together, but this is what I would like. And this is how I would like my life to be, and then stepping into that. So that's a good point about the multi-passion, because we're both very multi-passionate.
Yeah, I feel like we have like 1,000 passions, all like under one umbrella.
That's exactly. And that's the good thing about having your own business too,
Yeah.
right? Because not only am I creative, I'm also strategic. So I get to create like all of the beautiful things, create all of the visuals and all of the like the handouts and the, you know, all of that stuff, right? But then I also get to create a strategy and do all of that thing too. Whereas if you were specifically in a certain job, sometimes you don't get access to do all of the things. You have to pick one thing, and that's what you're doing, and that's what your job, like your scope is, and that's it.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what, for me, like, that's why corporate was just no longer a good fit. Whenever, like, I loved what I did, right? But I was like fit under a certain thing that I had to do. And it was just like this, recycle, repeat the next day. You're doing the same activities over and over again. And it kind of feels like you're just like, kind of like a monkey stuck in a cage. Just like, let me out, let me do other things. I'm so good at like video editing and podcasting and blogging. Like, when do I get to do those things, right? And it's very limited when you are confined in a corporate job. And not saying that, you know, corporate job, you can't be passionate about something. If you can find a passion and people are willing to pay you, that's totally fine and cool as well. But for me, it just like was no longer a fit for me. Flexibility and being able to, you know, make my day whatever I wanted to be was where I am in this point in my life.
No, that's so true. And I love that part. And like you said, corporate job, you can have so many things you're passionate about within your corporate job. What I was saying was like, for me, there was a certain piece and I could do the creativity and I could do the strategy, but then they wanted me to focus on just the strategy. So the creativity thing had to go out of the window. So it's just sometimes you get pigeonholed into a certain thing. But when that happened, then I realized what was so important. So everything that flows in a certain way. But you made a good point. #4. So we talked about, you have to find out what you're excited about, what's passionate about, what lights you up. That was #1. #2 was, what do you do so easily that everyone, what would you do, you know, for free? Like, what are the things that you're a genius at? That's just so easy that you don't give yourself credit for, right? Then #3, we talked about asking for guidance, asking God, universe, source, like whatever, asking for guidance and really knowing that that sign is coming, whatever you feel is the next answer. But then #4 is just starting, like just starting. Whatever first pops up, let's say it says, oh, you know, for my creativity or my passion is all podcasting, right? Just start a freaking podcast. Start, like, get the mic, get the things, get whatever you're going to get to editing, and just start and saying, okay, these are the shows that I'm going to do and I'm going to get started. It's okay for your path to change along the way. We talked about this in the last podcast. it's okay. Your path is going to change and shift as you go. There's no wrong way. But by you just getting out of the, I don't know what to do, or I don't know what my passion is, and just starting with something that you're excited about, that could lead to something else, which is going to lead to something else. And it's all about, like, you have this desire, turn that desire into an intention and say, I intend to do this. Decide that you're going to do it, and then take the action. And then that all can happen in 3 seconds, right? You can say, I want to do this. I decided to do this, and go do it. But it's all about, like, getting the energy moving behind you and your energy focused on something, so that God, universe, source can get there and focused with you and start sending things along your path, which could turn you to another direction, because it'll be like, oh, I thought I liked podcasting, but I actually want to do YouTube videos. That's where I really want to go. And then you'll go into that, and then you really, really put your energy and your thought and your focus on that. But just get started and take the tiny steps forward and really put your energy behind it.
Yeah, and I have a fun story. So I used to, do you know who Jacqueline Hill is?
Yeah, that name sounds very familiar. I think I get an email.
YouTube makeup.
Yeah.
So I used to watch her years ago, and she just kept popping into my Instagram for some reason. And she recently is going through like a divorce, and I don't know why. I was like, because I learned makeup from her like years ago, and I've been doing like the same makeup look. I'm like, I think I need to check out her like divorce story, and also like some updated makeup tips, which is what I did today. And it's so funny because she actually did a video. She's been doing YouTube makeup tutorials probably for like a good 8 years at this point, right? And she just did a video on like her reaction to her very first video. And it's so crazy to see. Like, it's funny because she's making fun of herself. But it's just in a little small window, right? And she's now sitting in a mansion, right? She's now made millions of dollars, like through sponsorships and so many different things. But she's watching that first video, and she's just like, I came from, just being a completely broke makeup artist, like living like, with my aunts and my, now husband, and we're just super young. And I had just like my lamp as my light source, and she was totally zoomed in, right? And she's just sitting there like totally zoomed in, you can't even see her tutorial, and she's just like, you know what, like, and people were telling me that I was broke and I'm going to be a YouTuber and a makeup artist, like I'm never going to make it. And she was totally passionate about it. That was like her passion, is teaching what she learned in Mac, right? Totally like self-taught, now like multi-millionaire, living in a mansion down by you actually. But so interesting, right? So just like following your passion, it can totally lead down a completely crazy path, like towards complete success.
Yeah. And she, you know what? She did it, right?
Yes.
She had a light source that was a lamp for a beauty tutorial. She didn't try to wait for her to have the diva light and all of the things. She took the steps, and her tiny steps led to her now mansion and her, very stylized videos and all of the things. But it's all about just getting started.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're going to find what you're more excited about, and things shift and change along the way, right? Like, you could be super excited about careers, but you also can be excited about having like entrepreneurs as well, right? So like, find people with their jobs, right? And then you move into, yes, I'm going to do people with their jobs, help them with their careers, but I'm also going to help entrepreneurs step into what they desire, right? So your desires don't have to only go down one path just because you took those steps there. They're going to evolve. And you have to allow yourself to.
Yeah, like I started, with starting a business, and I had to learn all of these things about like how to start a business, all the like million different steps. And now, so I'm passionate about helping people go through those steps and start their own business. Now I am coaching entrepreneurs that are starting with their businesses, which is really exciting for me, right? So now I have like 2 sets of things in my business, right? So it's like another step forward, another way that I can help people.
Exactly. And so like for me as well, like I started my career, right? Started with, I actually started in consulting at Deloitte & Touche, but there was, I felt really passionate about marketing. And then I moved to Coca-Cola and did the marketing and in Victoria's Secret, right? And so then from there, like I started my own beauty business because I worked in beauty for a long time. I always had the passion for the beauty. You should see my beauty counter. And so, right, so I always had the passion for that, and fashion was my passion. And then, then that folded into coaching, which was something that I had been doing all my life, right? So it didn't mean that I had to take a beeline straight to being a coach from the very beginning.
Right.
No, my path and your path, whatever you're doing, is going to lead you exactly to where you need to be right now. And you have to trust and know that you're always taking that step that's perfect for you, because your path is going to be totally different from anyone else's path. And just for you, like finding your desire or finding your passion, finding what excites you, is really just looking and saying, okay, what excites me? I love the idea about the brain dump, because you'll see, you're like, oh, no, that doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of things that day. You're like, oh, that could be fun, or that could be fun. And you go to sleep on it and make it a God to-do list and say, okay, these are the things that I think could be exciting, which is the first thing that I think about when I wake up. And then I'm going to take the action for that thing.
Yeah. And sometimes like, in the back of your mind what it is, and you keep talking yourself out of it, like that can't be something that I do, right? I can't be a successful YouTuber or a podcaster. Like I'm not like, interesting enough or pretty enough or whatever it is, right? And so you have that like block, like I can't do that, right? But you can do everything, as witnessed so many people doing so many different things in all shapes, sizes, all the things, right? So we see so many people successful, right? So it's just a matter of starting it.
Right, starting it, and there's no limits except for you. You are your limit. So if you feel like, oh, I can't do this, then you're going to prove yourself right, because that's where your belief is. And the universe is only a reflector to you of what you truly believe. So if you believe you can't be successful, if you believe you can't do this podcast, if you believe you can't be a successful YouTuber, then you're going to get that, because that's what you truly believe. But once you shift it and take just a tiny step to say, yeah, I probably could, and then just go, you'll see like big changes in your life.
Yeah. And there's evidence all around you that you can do it because other people are doing it, right?
Exactly. 100% evidence. And like I said, it's only you stopping you. And the more you open your eyes to, this is what I want to do, you're going to start seeing evidence of more people doing exactly what you want to do. And it's not competition. That is evidence to say, I can do this too. And I can attract my tribe out of the 7 billion people in this world. So
yeah.
Yay! So that was really fun. Definitely subscribe to this podcast, because we're going to continue to do these every week. And we really would love to hear from you. Subscribe, come join the lounge on Facebook. It's our group that, we're there, and we would post things about these episodes. So let us know, join it. We look forward to hearing from you, your thoughts, and any questions you have about finding your passion. And is there anything else you want to say, Irina?
Yeah, I can't wait like 2-3 years from now for us to watch these videos and do a reaction on them.
Well, I'm super positive. I'm like, oh my God, it was so great.
But just to see like how far we can go with this, right, will be so interesting, like how far we've come and like what changes, like what's going to happen. Yeah.
What's our backdrops? It's probably different backdrops. It's going to be different things. And we'll probably be talking about different things and doing different things in our business. And that's what's exciting, to just keep the steps going and knowing that it's only going to keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, this is it for us. Hugs and kisses. And remember to focus on your woo, but then don't forget to do the do. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Woo and the Do podcast. If you loved it as much as we loved recording it for you, please leave a review. And join me and Irina on Facebook and Instagram at The Woo and The Do. Also, please come hang out with us in the lounge on Facebook. It is our insiders group. You'll have access to me and you'll have access to Irina. And we will give you show notes and freebies and all kinds of amazingness. And you can connect with more listeners of this podcast and have a listening party. And In the meantime, remember to embrace all of your woo-woo goodness and continue to take that divine inspired action and do the do. Bye.